Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's afternoon now.
Oh my gosh. I'm Jess.
I'm Jazz.
And today we are going to be cooking. I say we, it is primarily going to be her. I will just make a mess.
Actually, I'm dragging her into the kitchen, so yeah, she will be cooking.
Alright, well, tell us what we're going to be cooking.
Well, it is Christmas time, so we're going to make some tamales, your favorite.
Well, I like savory tamales.
So she's never had sweet ones, so I decided this year we're going to make sweet tamales.
Okay.
So today we will be making guava and cream cheese tamales, as well as raisin and sugar tamales.
Okay. So, sweet. So you've always brought me tamales that you and your family make, right?
Yeah, we always make savory. My grandmother, however, really loves sweets, so she would make a couple of batches of sweet ones, and that's why I love them, because my grandma always made them, but my mom didn't.
Okay, so this is kind of a homage to your grandmother and everything. I've never had sweet tamales.
You're in for a treat.
Okay, well, let's go make a mess and see how much trouble I can get into.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, so we're gonna gather our ingredients. Of course, you need your corn flour. We have our guavas. You do need like a baking leavenator, so we'll do baking powder. And then lard. You can substitute it for vegetable lard or oil, I guess, if you will, instead of it, but I think it tastes way better with lard. And then for our raisin ones, we got our raisins and then our cinnamon and our sugar to go with it. But every family has their own ways of doing it. But this is how I was taught and how I will be doing it. Oh, and don't forget, prep your corn husk. They have to be nice and wet. They cannot be hard or you cannot ply them close together.
Yeah. So she's already started prepping these in our, what is that called?
It's just, we call it a tamalera. It's essentially just a pot. You can use it for stews and stuff. It's called the tamalera because if you look at it inside, it has this little bottom piece so that you can put your water at the bottom and then all your tamales go on top so that all the heat evaporates up versus it being direct.
Yeah, and she already prepped that. She was going ham on it this morning and I was like, oh, we starting? She said, no, I gotta prep.
Yeah, don't forget to prep your corn husk.
All right.
Well, let's get started.
Okay.
Okay guys, so for our dough, we're going to go ahead and start mixing our lard. We want it to be as smooth as possible so that you can incorporate it to your dough. We're going to be doing 2 cups of lard. A lot of people like to melt it. I think mixing it is just as okay to do.
Not gonna break the machine, is it?
It should not. It's kind of like butter. It's actually more smoother than butter. Make sure you get it all around. Like I said, most people will melt it. You can do it melted. My mom kind of did like a combo of it. Like I said, I don't think it really matters as much. So we'll go ahead and start it on low to start getting it pliable. And thanks to technology, we can use our KitchenAids, make it so much easier.
Should have chopped it and...
I should have. I normally do. I don't know why I didn't. But here we are. You live and you learn. While we have that going, we're going to go ahead and start getting started on our dough. We're going to need 6 cups of masa. Okay guys, so we're going to get your 6 cups of corn flour in. I probably should have got a bigger bowl, but it's okay. I can always transfer it over if I need to. And it doesn't have to be even. You might need to add more later on. Oh, well. Oh, wow. I'm just making a mess. And here I was thinking it was going to be just. Okay, we got all our masa here. You know, actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and get that bigger bowl just to be safe. Just grabbed another bowl. It is a little deeper. Once I start adding water and stuff, it'll be a little different. And then we will be needing our baking powder and our 2 teaspoons of just salt.
It looks like whipped meringue.
Yeah, you want it to start looking like meringue actually. Like I said, you want it as smooth as possible.
There's no such thing as over mixing it?
Nope, there's no such thing as over mixing it. You want it to be incorporated into your dough. But it doesn't take that long, like I said, to become soft. It's a shortening, so. We got our 2 of salt. Because these are a sweet dough, I'm going to add some sugar in there. And then we're going to get our baking powder. We need 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And you really don't need much baking powder. A little goes a long way when you're baking. And then you're going to grab your spatula or your hands to mix it. I personally will just use a spatula.
So if Jazz is nice, she'll fill you my point of view in of the whipped lard that looks like meringue.
Yeah, you want it to look almost like a meringue. And it's almost about ready. Yeah, looks good. Then we're going to start adding it to our dough. Nice and pliable already. I like to take the one that's on the paddle first, because I'm going to add it in there and you don't want it to just keep piling on there. And then for this part, I actually like to put gloves on when I'm mixing my dough. So you can do as you will. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I just don't like getting under my fingernails.
Gross.
My mother would say, just suck it up, you can wash your hands, but I always made sure I had gloves for this part.
So are you going to take the lard with your hand and put it in there?
Yeah. You want it to, once you start incorporating it into your dough, it's going to start looking like sand, like wet sand. And then once I have it all incorporated, I might actually add it back into the mixer so that it can mix versus me mixing it. And you don't want to add it all at once. You want to go slowly, start mixing it. It's like if you've ever made biscuits, same concept. You don't want to add it all at once. I think, have our dough ready. You don't want it, you still want it a little wet, right? You want to be able to slide it onto your corn husk. One way that you can tell if it's ready is if you grab a glass of water and you do a little ball and it floats. Granted, I think it's ready, but it might need a little bit more water. Oh, it's still not ready. Darn. So it needs a little bit more water. And that's okay. I wasn't quite sure if it was going to be ready or not. I had Jess come and help me mix the dough up as well. So we had a little bit more arm power in there, if you will. My mixer was not big enough. At least my bowl wasn't big enough for all this dough. No wonder my mom only made these for Christmas. It's a lot of work to work out. Okay, so I did put like half of it in the mixer, and then I'm gonna transfer it over into this one and mix that I will be hand mixing. Granted, the mixer is gonna be way faster than me, but who knows? Might be the same. So this is a big arm workout. I definitely feel it in my arms. Might need to bring Jess back in. Now that my dough is almost ready, my guavas that we went ahead and cooked through, we're gonna blend them together. You can throw in the seeds and everything. You're going to blend it, so they will be okay. Okay guys, so I'm not quite sure what happened to the mic and why it wasn't recording the audio. So I'm just gonna do a quick little voiceover. I already mixed my dough and added the guava to the dough. In the mixer, I currently have the cinnamon raisin tamales dough going. I already added my sugar and my cinnamon to it. Next up, I will be cutting my cream cheese. I did leave it out at room temp while I was making the rest of the dough so that it becomes cuttable and pliable. As far as cutting the cream cheese, I'm just going to cut it into literal rectangles, nothing too fancy. Like I said earlier, you can buy like spreadable cream cheese if you'd like. I think either or. I think I like it better as a little cream cheese rectangle. That way I can just put it in there as I'm filling it with the guava. And now it's for the fun part, filling the tamales. I'm going to be teaching you how to do it. There are two sides to the tamal. You have like a smoother side, and then you have more of the texture side. Always try to fill it and try to put it on the smoother side. That way you can slide your dough right on it, and it doesn't stick when they are baking and cooking. As far as for the tamal, putting the dough, you're literally going to slide the dough right onto the leaf. Make sure it's spread out evenly and thinly across. And then you're just gonna grab your guava paste and put it all across the dough, like in the middle, and then throw down some cream cheese on it. You're gonna close the tamal on one side and then the other, and then fold it over and give it a little squeeze to even it out, and your tamal is ready. I don't know why Jess thinks it looks complicated, but it's not. As you can see, she's capable of doing it herself. She was very scared at first, but she was able to do it. I mean, she only helped with a couple of them, but we got the job done. Okay, so I have a couple of them made already. When you're putting them into your pot, when through water, you know you have your little grate. You want to make sure your water is right below where the little grate is. You don't want it to be overfilling. And then when you're stacking your tamales in, you want to make sure you stand them up evenly across. And you go all around and then start doing one by one on the other aisle, if you will. Make them into rows, I guess. And then fill it up. Some people like to put like a little bowl or ramekin in there. I think you can just put them all around. That's only if you want to like layer them another layer on top of the ones you already have. But I don't think we're gonna make that many, but guess we'll see. We can always rearrange them after. And then after you have them all in your pot, you're gonna close it up with your lid. I always grew up putting full paper over them, so we are going to put full paper. Some people put like a rag, just like a kitchen rag over them, and then full paper to try to keep as much steam in there. I'm just going to do the full paper and then go on from there. And then you will cook them for an hour. After that 1 hour, you're going to leave them be for 15 minutes. Keep all that steam in there, and then they're good to go. So let's continue wrapping our tamales up.
Okay, here's all the guava cream cheese ones. We haven't even started on the other ones. Are we gonna have enough room in there?
I don't know. I was thinking of that. I don't think we are.
Do a couple of the raisin ones, and
I
then
might make like a dozen, and then I might just freeze them and make them tomorrow.
okay. Is that what you want to do then?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be our best bet because we made more than I thought we were.
True. Okay, well, we'll see you guys in a sec after I make more of a mess.
Okay, so I have the tamales in. I did decide to put a little ramekin to help. Those are the cinnamon raisin, and these side are guava. You're actually gonna cook them for an hour and a half. I lied, not an hour. But they're just on medium, so we'll come back in an hour and a half. Or actually an hour 45, 15 minutes of rest. Okay guys, it's time to open it up. Hopefully they're cooked. Fingers crossed. We shall see. Look at all that steam. We're going to go ahead and pull out one of the cinnamon raisin ones. And we'll go ahead and pull out a guava one as well.
It looks like chocolate chip pancakes and a tamale.
It does look kind of funny, the raisins, because they were dried raisins, so now they've got a little bit of liquid in them. But let's go taste them. Guys, they're done and ready.
Yeah, so I'm making her eat them in front of the Christmas tree because this is something she said about family and Christmas time. So ambiance is going to be everything.
Go ahead and unwrap them. This one's stuck a little, but it's a-okay. The first one we're going to try is going to be the raisin and cinnamon ones.
Did you even show them? You're just going to shove it in your gullet. There you go. Chocolate chip pancakes.
Yeah. Just like I remember. My favorite. Yeah?
Mhm.
First time trying, so yeah?
Mhm.
Since you always have the savory ones.
You know what they need? A churro.
A churro. You just like churros.
I love churros.
I haven't made churros in a while, actually. Now let's try our guava one.
Was this just a plain guava, or is this the one with guava and cream cheese?
It might be guava and cream cheese. I couldn't tell. Yeah, it's guava and cream cheese. Oh, this is a little messy. I got a little piece of cream cheese on me. But there you go. Let's see.
Yeah.
If I just had cream cheese.
This cream cheese?
Yeah, I think the cream cheese is more in the middle.
There's
Or the guava.
the guava.
The guava. You can tell that the dough is a little more savory because it doesn't have like cinnamon and sugar in it. It did have a little bit, but not a lot. You don't want it to overpower the guava. Yeah? Let's get more in the middle. More in the middle is where the guava is at.
I know she was saying earlier that guava, when you think of guava, you think of that reddish pink color. She said the trick that bakers, or folks that make this,
More of a guava.
they add food coloring so that you know that it's guava.
Oh, to your sweet flavored tamales, like your strawberry ones, you would add a little bit of dye so you can distinguish them, as well as with like, if you're gonna do blueberry, your blueberry ones, your guava, of course there are the pink guavas that you can use. I decided to just use the yellow guavas. You do like a mixture, and it's of course gonna turn your dough a little pinkish, and then you throw a little more dye in there. I think overall they turned out really good. Worth all waiting all day.
It's hot.
The only thing we need is some coffee or hot chocolate.
I don't need coffee. Now the savory ones always, you get like a salsa that pairs with it.
Mm-hmm.
You need like a drizzle that goes with it.
Yeah, so a lot of people put dulce de leche on top. Or you can do, since we put cream cheese in it, some people put like cream cheese and like sugar on top. I think, yeah, dulce de leche would be pretty good on top.
I was just tired of waiting. So, yeah. 10 out of 10, just like you remember your grandmother would make for Christmas.
I still think that the cinnamon raisin are going to be my number one.
I just like food. Alright, cool. Well, I guess we're going to keep indulging in these. Thanks, son, for teaching me how to make these.
Yeah, so you wonder why I don't want to make them all the time?
I don't ask for them. And I definitely don't want them all the time. That was rough.
It's a lot of work to put into them.
It's a lot of biceps and triceps and forearms. And then you gotta stand there with your back and like put the dough in the husk. I don't think so. Only I sat down after the little bit that you guys see me do. I sat down and I was like, my back hurts. Like, I actively work out. But that hurt me.
Imagine all the grandmas that do this on daily.
Right, they're beasts. If you have someone in your life that makes you tamales, or you go out of your way to purchase tamales, tip them extra, give them extra love if it's a family member. I think a massage or a gift of a massage is very much needed. But yeah, thanks, son, for making these.
Yeah.
We now have something to treat ourselves on Christmas Day. And with that, happy holidays. I hope you enjoyed our holiday vlogs that we've been doing.
Yeah, hopefully. If you like them, give us a like, guys.
Yep. And starting the new year, we have some announcements that are going to be coming out. So stay tuned for those. But until then, enjoy your holidays. Hope you eat a lot of delicious food. I know I sure will be. And until the new year, and we see you again, take care. Bye.